what advice would you have for employers, especially in context of Gen Z? And I'm here talking about even smaller, medium companies, right, who may not necessarily have the bandwidth, the financial bandwidth, perhaps just generally to think about a very innovative way of kind of instilling gamification, whether it's for learning, whether it's for their careers, whether it is, for other elements of a person's kind of a work life. What are some of the, just as a way to close, what could be the one or two do's and don'ts? And then let's also talk about on the Gen Z side, right, where while they are familiar with the games, and companies are using gamification, are there things that they need to kind of always look out for, being a very digitally savvy generation, that not to lose sight, and use that as a way to enhance and grow, right? So two sides, one kind of the employer side, doodle, and the other from the Gen Z.
So I'll try and be, you have given me 1 hour. I can go on for 5 hours. So I'm also struggling to, funnel my conversation.
We will need to do one more episode here, Bas. That's what I'm sensing, is I've got many more questions, but
yeah, but in the interest of time, right? So from an employer standpoint, the first thing I would say is when you're employing, learn about gamification properly before you deploy anything. Right? Don't take any vendor, even if it is me or you. Don't take their word for it. Do your own research. It's not rocket science. Have if you're an L&D, and even if you're not sitting and doing instructional design yourself, the basic tenets of what drives good gamification, you have to know. Right? So that people don't throw a templated things that in any LMS or authoring tool offers, because all of them now have gamification built in. Any content you build, you have tools, all of them have gamification in it. So you need to know your stuff first. Second is, don't take Gen Z for granted, or don't think that they don't know anything, right? Or don't think that they are not inclined to learn. What they are not inclined to do is sit through average stuff, right? So if a Gen Z is not consuming your content, it's not because the Gen Z is not interested in learning. It's because your content is not presented in a manner that they want to consume, and they are not coming from our generation where they feel obligated to sit through that because my organization is my bap and I have to do what I have asked. Right? So I would say two things really is, do your own research, do your own learning before you implement anything. And second is, ensure that whatever you do challenges the learner at every point in time. And third, and perhaps the most important, whether you're doing for learning or you're doing for anything, never gamify for outcomes. Always gamify for actions. Right? Gamification for outcome is already happening with performance appraisal and targets and, etc. Right? And all that is taking care of it. Everything else should be taken care of for actions and not outcomes. So these are broadly, the tools are, you just type 10 best gamification tools, there'll be 200 which will come.
Yeah.
Right? So, and attending learning conferences, attending gamification conferences are a great way to learn, because 6 months learning, you will be able to get going in about 2-3 days, right? Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. No, go ahead, please. Well,
so from the Gen Z standpoint, right? I think we, whether you call it millennials or beyond, we got really lucky and I'm saying this because I think I can say it. We got away with a generation where you could be average or above average and still manage to get some level of success in whatever you did, right? Because India was growing, everybody was figuring out, like in Hindi, they say, Anda mein kana raja. So everybody kind of went through with it, right? It was okay to be part of the flow of the river. Today, fortunately or unfortunately, if you have to be good, you have to be a master at something. You have to have deep knowledge. You have to have damn good. You can't wing it anymore. So for the Gen Zs, it doesn't matter what you choose to do. Whatever you choose to do, there is no way out apart from being really good at it. And you'll only be really good at something if you constantly learn and practice. So there's no getting away from that. There is no winging. It all seems rosy right now. But what you don't want to be is caught in the middle of the bell curve, because middle of the bell curve means you're constantly slipping on the other side. So these are the two things that I wanted to really share.